Hello, good morning, everybody. I am so glad I see so many of you on this morning. Valerie, Stella. Oh no, I hit a button. I shouldn't. I tried to scroll and I hit something I shouldn't have. There we go. Lisa and Libby and Randy. So glad you guys are joining us today. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Valerie is here all the way from Ireland. I absolutely love that. And by the way, that's one of my like bucket list locations. Hey, I want to show you what we're going to create today. These are really fun accordion fold cards. It's going to be one of those really fun to give. It's really unique. Let me show you what we got here. So you see we got a bow on the front. Well, that's kind of what's holding our card together. And that is our accordion fold. I'm going to be using this one. This is the Mediterranean Blooms. And you can see we just tie it up. So this is a great little thank you card. I'll tell you what, I'll tie that later. This will be our masculine card. It's a grateful for you. I use some of the in color jute. You're such a blessing. Aren't those fun? I've got so many tips and tricks to share with you on creating these cards. So let me go ahead and bring my friends on who are joining me. So we've got Brenda, she's over on YouTube today. She'll be answering any of your comments, questions. Christina is over on Facebook. And so she'll be there as well. Hi, friends.
Good morning.
Hi.
How is everybody?
Good.
Doing good.
Awesome. So just letting everyone know, we kind of chat for just a little bit. It is live after all, and it's our chance to kind of get together with everybody, see what's up. This also gives everybody a chance to get onto the live because, you know, you get that notification from YouTube that it's live. Well, you got to, make sure you get your coffee and, get to where you can get to your computer, things like that. So we do just a little chatting. If you're watching the replay, though, just scroll forward till you see my hands. Once you see my hands, then, we're stamping. So before we went on live, we were just talking. Last week we were here and we said Christina was opening a show. She was singing at a show called Zero Resistance. How did it go?
It went really well. We had great audiences.
We went that night.
Yes, you did. We had great audiences. Everyone really enjoyed it and we had a great time, but I'm happy to have my evenings back.
Yeah.
Well, I got a good story for you guys.
What's that?
Oh, I'm ready.
Gosh. So I have the funniest little kids live across the street from me. They're all little boys and the one is hilarious. So a neighbor kid down the street decided that to come see if he wanted to play. And I am weeding my flower bed, so they can't see me, but I can hear the conversation. The one little guy says, "Hey, I got a game we could play. It's called Blind Ball." And the other little boy says, "How do you play?" And he says, "You stare at the ball really hard until you go blind. Do you want to play?" So the other little kid, who had some reason, says, "No, I don't want to go blind." And he says, "Oh, you don't go blind."
That's hilarious.
How old are these kids?
Those kids, he's about 8. The story.
Let's play the sun stare game.
Yeah, let's do this. Oh, it won't really happen. At least the one had some common sense going, that's not a good idea.
I don't think I want to play that.
Doesn't sound like fun.
Oh, gosh. The things that happen. Just.
It's not a good activity.
Find a new activity. That's right.
Find a new activity.
Oh,
all right. Well, are you guys ready to learn how to stamp an accordion card?
Yes, so ready.
Yes.
Okay,
so ready.
Let's go. We are going to switch over here. There we go. All right. Well, you guys know I always have a free download. Got to have that free download. So this is a card that you're definitely going to want to have the download because of all the measurements. Not that they're hard, but it is an accordion fold, so there's lots of scoring and the pieces of designer series paper and cardstock. So you're going to want to have that. You can find it at simplysimplestamping.com. Look down in the YouTube description. You'll find a direct link to it. Guys, I got a QR code here. Click or scan the QR code. It'll take you back to today's video because you might need it. And I've also got the complete supply list. So, and look, it's not even that long, right? It's really not. Most of it, you might already have. So that would be even better. Remember, my friends, I always tell you, use what you have. But if you see something that I use that you've just got to get your hands on, click this image and you will go directly to my online store. If you're in the United States, friends, I would love to be your demonstrator. Thank you for your support of the channel and my business. I appreciate that. So I hope you can go grab your free download. All right, let's get started. I will bring in my card once again so that you can see it. In fact, let me get the one that I've already untied. So it's just really cool how it opens out. All right. Now, some of you don't like it when a card won't stand up on its own. Okay. It will, but it's going to look wonky. So this is not a stand-up card, just to let you know. So let's go ahead and talk supplies here. Not a lot of supplies, actually. So I've got a piece of Night of Navy. I actually have two pieces of Night of Navy. This one here is a 4 1/4 by 11, so half of a sheet of cardstock. Friends, let me give you the scoring measurement on this. So you're going to have the 11 inches at the top. You will score at 1 inch, 3 inch, 5 1/2, and 8. Okay. This piece of Night of Navy is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So if you were to have an 8 1/2 by 11, you could do this with one sheet of cardstock and have this piece left over. Got it? Okay, good. We've got a piece of Daffodil Delight that is 4 by 5 1/4. We have got the Mediterranean Blooms Designer Series paper. When you cut this one, by the way, this is a I got to find it. There it is. It's 5 by 4. Try that again. 4 by 5 1/4. If your paper is directional, this one's very random. If it is directional, you want your 4 inches and your 5 1/4 when you cut it, because we're going to be cutting it this way. I'm going to show you that here in a second. I've got 3 pieces of basic white. Let me see. I've got a 2 3/4 by 4, a 2 1/4 by 4, and a 1/2 inch by 2 1/2 inches. The last thing you're going to need is some ribbon. This is the petal. It's a combo pack. You get petal pink and basic white. This is a diagonal trim. It's really pretty. 20 inches or even a little more if you want. Okay. It's better to have more than less, but no less than 20. All right, here we go. First things, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and cut our designer series paper. So I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. And again, with that 5 1/4 up at the top, our first cut is 1/2 inch. Our next cut is 3/4 of an inch. And by the way, you don't have to cut it in this order. This is not one of those cards you have to go in the exact order. The next one, we're going to go 1 3/4 of an inch, and that's going to leave us 2 1/4. All right, that's the hardest part. And that's not so bad, right? I'm going to go ahead and bring in my accordion fold here. And you're going to need your bone folder for this one. So we are just going to, really, it's an accordion card, which means we're going to fold in an accordion, okay? So get our last one, just like that, okay? Let's go ahead. I'm going to open this. You know what? I think, how about we stamp next? All right, let's go ahead and get our stamping out of the way. So we're going to need that 2 1/4. I'm going to bring my card in so you guys can kind of see me and follow along. This is the 2 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to be using my Simply Said stamp set. We're going to be making a thank you card. So we have a thanks and a thank you. I'm going to use both of those. And we only need one ink pad, and that is a Night of Navy ink pad. Guys, the stamping is so easy. I'm going to put a thanks right there. And on, oh, you know what? I'm going to do a little snip here on this 1/2 inch by 2 1/2. And I'm just going to cut a little snip right up to the center. And you can see you just kind of go from the corners to make yourself a little flag. And with the flag, we want that over on the right side. And we're going to stamp our little Thank you. And we want it kind of down on the flag end. All right. Guess what? Stamping done. All right. I'm going to move these out of my way. And now we can add our designer series paper because I wanted my stamp cardstock. So we're going to start here with our 3/4 of an inch. And you can put, oh, let's get the adhesive rolling today. You can put the adhesive on the back of the designer series paper or on your Night of Navy, whichever you prefer. I thought I'd shake things up. I'm gonna do things different today. All right, we're gonna add, that's the 3/4 inch, and that's in that 1 inch section. It's pretty easy to figure out what goes where. It's just not that difficult to do. You kind of see right where they're supposed to go. So we're gonna add, all right, you guys know it's always a challenge. Can Connie adhere cardstock or stamp and read comments at the same time? Let's see. Ruth Ann, good morning from Southern Illinois. Good morning to you, Ruth Ann. I'm so glad you're here. Randy says she loves Night of Navy and Daffodil, as do I. I just think it is beautiful. We are going to do, actually, and I showed you it went there. It actually doesn't. It's going to go there. All right, so we're going to do our 3 pieces of designer series paper. By the way, I could change it up. Okay, the other side is really pretty. So you could very easily change these up if you wanted to. That's what we love about designer series paper, is that it's beautiful on both sides. So we'll add that one. Now this thanks is going to go down here because I wanted a little more space to write my message. So we'll add that one right here. And then remember we had that other piece of basic white. We're going to add this one. And then we had that little strip of designer series paper that we had left over. And hey, we're going to use that because it's actually going to show on the front of the card. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. So I'll put that right. You want it right along the edge of that basic white. So when I fold it, do you see that's going to show? So that's why it was really important that we use that little 1/2 inch piece, because it kind of polishes off our card. Okay, now for our magic part. Here we go. I'm going to open up my card, and you are going to need your take your pick tool. Now, you could also use a really little hole punch, not those great big ones, not that 1/4 inch, not that office one. But if you guys have that little one, you know what I'm talking about? I think it's like an 1/8 inch circle punch. That would work too. But I'm going to do it with just my take your pick tool. And here's what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to put a hole right here in my thank you. And what you want to do is go ahead and slide it so that we can use the thickest part of our paper piercer, okay? Because we need a pretty good size hole. I'm going to do the same thing here on this this is my 1 inch panel, 3/4 inch designer series paper. Find the center, go in the center. We're going to poke that in. Again, push that take your pick tool. And I'm kind of just, I don't know, how do I say this? I'm kind of bringing it in a circle to kind of help widen that. The next thing I'm going to do is just kind of flatten out the back, okay? Don't worry, no one will really see it, but it's going to help us when we go to put our ribbon in. All right. Now, a trick here with your ribbon, grab my scissors off the wall. What I like to do is cut it and have a really kind of long and narrow slice in it. That's going to make it a little bit easier to put this through. So we're going to push that through there. And it's going to come up from the bottom, by the way. And you know what? I should have squished this one down too. So let me just do it really quick. There we go. My ribbon's getting a little shreddy, and that's okay. We'll trim it down when we're all done. But you see, when you have that little sharp edge, it's what's giving us the ability to pull all that through. Okay. I'm going to fold up my accordion card. We're going to bring this around, and we're going to kind of we're going to be tying our bow right here. So you do want to kind of see that you have the ribbon just right. Let's tie this in a bow. Oh, I got to make sure I'm not folding. You guys know what I mean when your ribbon kind of goes the wrong way. Let's try that again. All right, there we go. Remember my trick, pull up and down. When you're tying a bow, pull up and down, not side to side. And you've got a good amount of ribbon here, so that's good. It gives you plenty to work with. You know what? I'm actually gonna make this one a little bit, the one that's underneath here. If there's a side that you want longer, it's that end, okay? I'll show you why, because you know, when we open it, we want to make sure that we're not going to lose our ribbon. Okay, what am I doing? Come on, Connie, get your fingers to work. Okay. There we go. Dawn, I have a question. I struggle constantly with the Stampin' Seal little thingy. I end up, sorry, the screen just moved. I end up with it so loose. What am I doing wrong? I am not 100% sure, Dawn. Having it too loose. You might try just going in if you need to just kind of tighten it up a little bit. You know, if it just needs to kind of re-roll. I'm not really sure, Dawn. Sorry, I just am not 100% sure what you're asking. Okay, guys, just trimming off the excess. All right, it looks really pretty. Now we're going to add it to our card. So we're going to bring in our Daffodil Delight and our Night of Navy, but I want to emboss this first. So I decided to use the eyelet embossing folder, and we're going to add that here to our embossing folder. Guys, you're going to use base plate 1, add your embossing folder in cardstock, and add your embossing folder 4. You're going to run that through the machine. And again, to save time, I went ahead and did that for you. We're now ready to add this to our card. And yeah, Randy, I'm with you. I just love Daffodil Delight and Night of Navy. All right, so you see how our ribbon is back here? We want to add our adhesive right over that ribbon. Okay, see how I did that? You want to go right over it. Get aggressive with your adhesive on this one, okay? Because it's kind of the whole card, all right? So we're now going to take our fun little accordion fold, add it to the front of our card, and you're going to give this a really good press because we want to get all that adhesive. Remember our embossing folder, it raised part of our cardstock. So we want to really make sure that our accordion fold is sticking down because we don't have as much surface area for it to stick to. But guys, that is how you make a super cute accordion fold card. What do you think? Tell me what you think. And let's see. Oh, sorry. Every time I try to read a comment, that's when they start. These remind me of Michigan school colors. They do, don't they? They really do. All right, guys, let's do our next one. This was our masculine version. We always need those masculine cards. And this one I thought was just really fun. So for this card, we're going to use Pebbled Path. Remember, we had the 2 pieces that were the same size. Okay, these are all the same. Measurements are all the same, all that good stuff. Okay. I do have an extra piece, though, of Pebbled Path, and this is a 1x4, okay? So that is one extra piece we have there. My Blackberry Bliss, that was the 4x5 1/4. My basic whites, that was, remember, the 2 1/4x4 and the 2 3/4x4. And then I do have one extra one here. Remember the little tag? Well, this one's a little bit bigger. So this one's going to be a 3/4 inch by 3. All right. No, I don't think that's right. I think it's 3 3/4. Forgive me. think that's 3 3/4. Okay. Oh, the designer series paper. Love this paper. This is the Nature Sweetness designer series paper. Can you see the gorgeous gold splatter? So pretty. And this one really worked great for a masculine card. And this pebbled path jute trim was perfect. Again, 20 inches at the minimum. More is better than less. All right. So let's go ahead and work on this one. I'll tell you what, just so we can go over this cutting again, we're going to do this one more time. Remember that 5 1/4 up at the top, and this, your designer series paper, this one is not directional. You notice I have words on it. So it was very important that I cut it this direction. So make sure when you're cutting that you're cutting 4 inches here and you're 5 1/4 there. Okay, let's do it again. We've got 1/2 inch. That's the one that's going to go there on the side. Then we've got a 3/4 inch. That's for the very first panel of our card. We have a 1 3/4, and that will leave us our 2 1/4. Okay. We'll be able to get through this one pretty quick here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my pebbled path. Remember, we scored this at 1 inch, at 3 inches, at 5 1/2 inches, and 8 inches. And that is what created our accordion fold. Let's go ahead and do our stamping. So I'm going to bring in the 2 3/4 and that 1 by 3 3/4. This time we're going to use the Grateful Blessing stamp set. I love the sentiments in this so much. So we're going to make a I'm grateful for you and you're such a blessing card. And this one will just use a Blackberry Bliss ink pad. Did I just stick my finger in it? No, that's good. Because, you know, you guys, if you follow me, you know I'm always wearing more ink than I'm getting on my cardstock. Okay, I'm grateful for you. We'll go right there. And I got to show you this. You're such a blessing is a little tight squeeze. If this ever happens and you've got a message or a sentiment or something and it's just not going to fit, try going at an angle. Because I think it just looked really cute. You know, I think it's kind of fun, don't you? So you can always just kind of turn things a little bit. Okay. I'm going to bring in, let's go ahead and start building this card because I did things a little bit different on this one. So I will start with, this would be the 3/4 inch, and I'm going to use the print side. Make sure your designer series paper, because it's so small, you might not notice, but you don't want something to be upside down. That would be bad. This is going to be my next piece, but I'm going to bring in that pebbled path pattern. We're going to kind of mix things up a little bit. So we'll add that here. Again, make sure you've got your pattern going the right way. This will be my next one. I'm going to go ahead and let that print be face up. We'll go right here. And now our You're Such a Blessing. And I wanted to tell you too, these two panels are the same size. I could have put Your Blessing here. In fact, let's do it. Why don't we just mix things up? You know what? I'm worried I might not get it on there. I could reverse those. There's no right or wrong. Okay, so we're going to do You're Such a Blessing. And of course, we had our final. This is where you'll write your message. And you can tell someone why they are such a blessing and why you are grateful for them. Our last little piece, again, let's use the opposite side of the paper. It just ties in that pebbled path really nice. All right. Now we are ready to, oh, you know what? Let me go ahead real quick since I've got my adhesive out. We're going to go ahead and add our sentiment here. And I'll show you how we're going to do that here Just 2 shakes. Okay. I'm going to bring in my paper piercing mat again. Now this time, my sentiment doesn't need to be poked through with anything. Back in with my take your pick tool, find the center. Remember, push that paper piercer all the way through and really try to stretch that hole. Now, just like we did before, let's kind of try to flatten the back. You know, I think my bone folder, yeah, that does great. Why didn't you think of that before, Connie? There we go. Now we have a really nice little hole there for our jute. Okay, now this jute can unravel on you. So you might need to, you just take it slow. Let's see. Oh, I did pretty good. Yeah, it didn't unravel. If it does, just kind of take it out and give it a little twist. All right. Let's go ahead. We'll tie this one up. Remember, if there's any place we want a longer one, it's the one that's on the left side. Because when it opens, we want to make sure that it doesn't completely come undone. All right. I'm going to give this a tie. Oh, another little tip I can share with you on the jute, because it's on a spool. You can take a dryer sheet and kind of run that jute through if it's a little curly. All right, you can always do that. Okay, let's go ahead and bring in our layering pieces. So that Blackberry Bliss, we're going to use the exposed brick. Again, it's a great masculine folder. Okay. By the way, that is also going to be exactly the same. Your base plate 1 and embossing plate 4. Okay. We'll run that through and we get this. I loved this exposed brick for masculine cards. I like it for feminine cards too, really, but I just think it's such a great folder. And let me tell you, I also just really love this kind of vintagey feel of it. It went really well with my paper, and I think these colors lend themselves really nicely to that as well. Okay, remember, we're going to take our adhesive and we're going to go right over that ribbon. Okay,
Hey, Connie.
Yes, ma'am.
Libby Moore shared something kind of neat. It says, today is a special day. It's the 80th anniversary of D-Day, and my son is retiring from the U.S. Army Special Forces after 20 years, and he is jumping in Normandy today.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Oh, Libby, I am so glad you shared that. That is amazing. Would you do me a favor? Will you just be sure to tell him thank you so much for your service? Oh, wow. That is so cool. And congratulations on just his career and success. That is really awesome. Very awesome. Oh, I'm so glad that you shared that with us. Thank you. All right, guys, it's ready. It's time to add our sentiment. And let me tell you, it's just going to go right here. So I'm going to add adhesive right here on this strip. And by the way, when you add it, you're going to see that this is a 4-inch piece of cardstock. And you're going to see it's going to line up with the edge of your Blackberry Bliss. And now, boom, 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 we open our card. You are such a blessing. And you will be able to write your message. Okay, what do you think, my friends? I hope that you like that one. I think these are really fun cards. Please don't forget that free download awaits you. And that way you'll have all the measurements. So when you're ready to recreate the card, you'll be able to do that. Hey, let's see. What time have we got? Oh, I've got 1 minute to share with you the cards for next week's YouTube Live. I don't know if this is a card that's been made before. Maybe it has. I dreamed it up, but that doesn't mean it hasn't been done before. But this is what I'm calling a hidden gatefold card. Are you ready? It's just kind of a really fun and unique card where it's a gatefold, but we're going to hide it. I've got a masculine one. You know, we always need those masculine cards. So we have got a masculine card as well. We're going to be doing those next week. Let's see, what day would that be? Today's, Brenda, remind me, what is next week? I don't even know what today is. June something.
It's the 13th.
13th. Thank you. So yeah, please join us next week for that card. I think that one's going to be a lot of fun. And somebody please tell me if this has been done before. I'd love to know, but I was just kind of playing around one day and sort of dreamed it up, and it's a one-sheet wonder. So yeah, I'm going to show you some fun tricks. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Just a quick reminder, 10% off many of Stampin' Up's bundles, which are already discounted 10%, but you're going to get an additional 10%. And if you are ready to purchase a Stampin' cut and emboss machine, whether it's the big one or the mini, they are on sale as well. That's all through the month of June. You're not going to want to miss out on that. It's fantastic. And listen, if you're new to stamping, die cutting is a game changer, big time. So be sure to check that out. If you have questions about that, email me, Connie at simplysimplestamping.com. I'm always happy to help. All right, friends, thank you again so much for being here. Brenda, Christina, thanks for being over there on YouTube and Facebook. I appreciate it. Have a fantastic day, everybody. We'll see you on June 13th.